And the last 5 seconds, Jenna seems to be in the lead. Can Calvin catch up just in time? 2, 1. And congratulations, Jenna, with 13 points. You are the new head of household. Congratulations, Brianna, you have won the golden power of Veto. Okay, so Calvin has been saved by Brianna, the veto being used for the 4th consecutive week in a row. So Jenna has named Adelaide as the replacement nominee.
Nippin Grelby. Nee, Jobabaxanoy.
Infalliness. Desmikos Karenchi Nivizel.
Hello and welcome back to Startup Simsy's Let's Play Big Brother 1. It is day 14 inside the Big Brother house, and we have just seen the veto meeting take place where Brianna held her 2nd veto meeting of the season and saved her alliance member Calvin from potential eviction. However, this did mean that head of household Jenna named Adelaide as the replacement nominee, who Brianna is also very close with. So we have our final nominees as Adelaide and Jaren. Let's check in with the house guests. So Calvin was just saved from the block by Brianna. So he's very happy with himself. He's got another week inside the Big Brother house. He's quite content. We've got Brianna here just having a conversation with Deacon. She would have wanted to see him go on a block as opposed to Adelaide instead. She has less of a kind of friendship with him over Adelaide and Calvin, so she would have been hoping to see him as named as the replacement nominee. We have head of household Jenna here talking with Jaren. She's in a playful, casual discussion. She's just talking to him. He's obviously also nominated alongside Adelaide and has the threat of going home. And then we have Adelaide here, still sat in the nomination chair, probably getting quite comfortable now because she'll be sitting here come eviction night. She's also talking to Deacon now, and Calvin's approaching as well. Probably just trying to, these two will be voting. There's 4 votes this week, Brianna, Calvin, Deacon and Josie. So she's probably just trying to work on those relationships with those voters. Jenna's also here. Jenna's just become good friends with Jaren as well, which is very important and crucial. She's obviously doing very well as a new house guest. She's settling in. She's become quite an established house guest now. Okay, so coming up on today's episode, we catch up with the last 24 hours from our house guests and see all the fallout from that veto meeting. Plus, we have eviction number 4 taking place. Who will be the 4th person to be evicted from the Big Brother house, Adelaide or Jaren? And also, we have our Battle Back competition. That's right, the first previous 4 evicted house guests, so that's Derek, Aubrey, Cody, and either Adelaide or Jaren, will compete in 3 rounds of previously seen head of household competitions, where one of them will win and be entering the game again. Fully fledged housemates, and they'll be able to win it all. So we have a returning house guest straight after the eviction, and our house guests don't know anything yet. So down in the living room we have Calvin, Deacon, Jenna and Josie having a casual conversation. This is a head of household and 3 voters, 3 out of the 4 voters. Surprise, surprise, Brianna's taken another nap after a big decision-making task of the veto meeting, so she's just taken an afternoon nap on the chaise lounge by the pool. We've got Jaren up here, he's just playing chess on his own, probably just trying to figure out what the best move is for him. He's in a focused mood. He's probably just thinking, right, how do I kind of get those, 3
Yeah,
votes are needed to stay in this game. Otherwise, we go to a tie with 2 votes. And the head of household, Jenna, names the evicted house guest. So he's probably thinking, who is my best chance? Which 3 of these house
Breezy
guests do I kind of
Peebo.
work with to get those votes? We've got Deacon approaching Brianna, who's just woken up from her nap, to have a conversation with her, and Adelaide, who's in the pool. So obviously, we know that Brianna did want Deacon to be the one going on the block, as opposed to Adelaide. But obviously, they're having a conversation next to each other. They're kind of engaging in those social interactions which are needed to be able to stay in the game. It's not just about winning competitions, it's also about, you know, becoming friendly and having those social interactions, because they are the people voting to keep people in this game. Adelaide is also on her way to speak with Brianna, probably just kind of asking why she would have used a veto, because Brianna knew there was only, you know, a possibility of either her or Deacon going up on the block, or Josie. So she's probably just thinking, why would you put me at risk and take Calvin off? She's obviously thinking that Brianna's got a bit of a closer relationship with Calvin than herself. Talking of Calvin, he's just joined Jaren at the chessboard to play a game, just kind of working on those social interactions. They clearly have quite a good friendship going on here, which could work in Jaren's favour come the voting. Jaren's just walked off. We've got Jenna and Josie on the sofas in the living room, having a casual discussion, just trying to get to know each other more. Obviously, Jenna can't compete in the next head of a household competition, and Jenna is yet to, Josie, sorry, is yet to win a competition. Between her and Adelaide, they're the only 2 remaining house guests that have not won any competitions in the house, and both have been nominated come eviction night as well. We've got Jaren here, just kind of keeping himself to himself, actually, surprisingly, after the veto meeting. He's not really socially interacting with anyone. He's probably thinking he's just going to kind of keep his cool, keep a low profile, and just hope that, you know, the votes go in his favour. Whereas outside by the pool, we have Calvin, Deacon, Adelaide, and Brianna all kind of engaging in conversation. Obviously, Adelaide's really mixing socially with everyone at the moment, trying to get those conversation points up as well, try to stay in the game. Calvin is on his way to play chess on his own. We now have Jaren and Josie by the pool, sitting there having a conversation. So Jaren's now starting to put in the work, which is good. Josie is obviously one of the people voting this week, one of the 4 people, so he's working on her. We have head of household Jenna just in the pool, kind of swimming laps while everyone's kind of working. The crowd trying to get their friendship points up. She's just watching everyone thinking, well, I'm safe, I'm not going anywhere. She obviously could be voting to evict this week if there is a tie of 2-2 this week. So I'm not sure which way she will go. Josie is on her way to play chess with Calvin. Adelaide's still kind of watching on from the side of the pool, kind of just, she's obviously strategically thinking, what do I do next? She's a real kind of thinker, game strategist. She kind of just thinks, what's the best next move, and let me think about it before I do it. So Jenna's also joined Calvin and Josie upstairs. Calvin's just gone to the toilet. Jenna is sitting down with Josie. I imagine that they're trying to kind of just engage on where Josie might be falling to vote this week, and if Jenna could have any sway over that. We've got Brianna just swimming in the pool. She's in a scared mood at the moment, probably because of deep water. But she has used the veto twice now, and the veto all 4 times previously has been used. Jaren and Deacon have joined the 2 girls upstairs now, so we've got Jaren, Deacon, Jenna, and Josie. Deacon's gone off into the head of household room. So obviously Jaren's probably just trying to work these 2, thinking, you know, please save me. Jaren has been head of household before and nominated Adelaide and Aubrey and Deacon as a replacement nominee. So he's probably thinking, look, I've never nominated either of you. Please give this back to me in voting, really. So we've got Calvin and Adelaide down by the pool, having a conversation, a playful, pleasant conversation now, actually. They've got quite a good relationship. She's probably hoping that Calvin will vote to keep her in the house over his bromance with Jaren. Jaren and Josie are having a private conversation in the head of household bathroom. Their relationship, as you can see, is to the max. So they have a really strong relationship. So she's probably thinking, well, obviously I'm going to vote to save Jaren this week and evict Adelaide. But you never ever know come eviction night. Jenna, as always, just kind of keeping herself to herself at the moment. I feel like she's come into the house late. She was nominated. She flirted with Deacon to get off the block. That's kind of died down a little bit. She became head of household. Did Calvin just appear out of nowhere there? She became head of household, nominated, re-nominated. So she's thinking, I really need to just play it low now. I need to kind of fade into the background, have these kind of, you know, essential conversations with people, but then just kind of keep a low profile now. Sentiment gained between Josie and Deacon. You make my day so much better. Okay, so it's feeding time in the Big Brother house. So we've got Brianna, Josie, and Jaren here in the kitchen. Adelaide joining them now as well. Jenna's also on their way to join them in the kitchen, have a conversation with Josie. These two have been talking quite a lot today, actually. Calvin and Deacon are having a private conversation in the storeroom. Probably just talking about the vote that's impending tomorrow morning. Got Jaren and Adelaide in the kitchen having a conversation. They're obviously the two nominated. They have an okay relationship, it seems, but obviously one of them will be leaving. None of them know that actually potentially one of them could be walking back into the house come eviction night also with our battle back competition. Brianna's having a late night dip in the pool. Adelaide and Calvin having a conversation right in front of head of household Jenna and nominee Jaren also. Josie and ally Jaren are having a conversation at the breakfast table. Upstairs at the chessboard we have head of household Jenna and Veto winner Brianna. Probably having a conversation. I feel like Jenna kind of latched onto Brianna a little bit, although she's cheating in chess now. But Jenna latched onto Brianna a little bit. Brianna was the outsider when the two new house guests came into the house. And now they've built quite a good relationship, it would seem. Adelaide and Josie have gone for a late night swim. Is this part of Adelaide's kind of strategy to have one-on-ones with everyone? Although, as I say that, Josie is walking away now. Calvin's on his way up to speak with Jenna. Josie's on her way to bed as the 14th day comes to an end, as is Jaren. So as house guests do make their way to bed now, we're going to leave day 14 there as the fourth eviction takes place tomorrow morning and our all-important battle back competition. Derek, Aubrey and Cody will be returning for a chance to enter the game again. Okay, so it's day 15 inside the Big Brother house and house guests are just starting to wake up. Let's check in with them. So we've got Jenna here. She's just woken up. Her head of household reign does come to an end today, as one of her nominees, either Adelaide or Jaren, will be evicted from the Big Brother house. What she doesn't know is that either of them will have the chance, a 1 in 4 chance, of returning right back into the game. Okay, our nominees Jaren and Adelaide are just waking up as well. With the other house guests, as they know that their last morning in the house could be upon either of them. Adelaide is just cooking herself a breakfast meal ahead of the eviction. Got Jaren and Calvin in the bathroom just having last minute conversations. So I think as we approach now, it is time for the fourth eviction of the season. House guests, please gather in the living room for this morning's eviction. We're about to have our live vote and eviction. Neither nominee is allowed to vote. Jenna, you will only vote in the event of a tie. One at a time, the remaining house guests will enter the diary room and cast their vote to evict. The house guest with the most votes will be evicted from the game. Calvin, you're up first. Please head to the diary room.
Leaps nearly bow wristlick.
Falliness, Desmigos, Crunchy Navazel. Wisamo, Mola Shibane.
Yes.
Aragama.
House guests, the votes are in, and for the first time this season, with a 2-2 vote, we have a tie. Jenna, as current head of household, you will now vote to evict either Adelaide or Jaren from the Big Brother house. Please stand up.
Ooh, lava.
There we have it, it's official. Adelaide has become the fourth house guest to be evicted from the Big Brother house. Okay, so it's now time to break to the house the news of the Battle Back competition. House guests, please take your seats once more. As you have now come to expect, the head of household competition usually follows the eviction. However, you have also been told to expect the unexpected. And tonight there is a twist. You have just voted to evict Adelaide from the Big Brother house. However, tonight the first 4 evicted house guests will re-enter the house and compete in 3 previously seen head of household competitions, where one of them will earn the right to re-enter the game. So that's Derek, Aubrey, Cody, and now Adelaide. One of them will be re-entering the game as fully fledged housemates. Okay, so we have our first 4 evicted house guests of the season in the head of household room. We have Derek, Aubrey, Cody, and Adelaide. One of these will be re-entering the game. Previously evicted house guests, you will shortly enter the challenge room. There will be 3 competitions previously seen on this season. You'll compete in the first competition, and the previously evicted house guests in last place will leave the competition for good. The 3 remaining will move on to round 2, where another person will be evicted, and the final 2 will move on to round 3. The house guest winning round 3 will re-enter the game tonight. House guests, please enter the challenge room. Okay, so the first round of this competition is simple. You will all go on your treadmills. The first previously evicted house guest to come off will be eliminated, leaving the remaining 3 to move on to round 2. This competition starts now. Okay, so all 4 house guests have gone on to their treadmills. This was the first head of household competition of the season, so they all would have competed in this competition. Apart from Cody, actually, who entered the game a little bit later. One of these will be re-entering the game tonight, which is so exciting. Who will be the first to be eliminated from this round? I don't think any of them want to be. they all want a chance at re-entering this game. Oh, oh, Derek has had a little bit of a fall, but he's got back on. He tried to push himself a little bit too hard, it looked like there. Adelaide and Derek are having a bit of a conversation. Unfortunately, only one of them can re-enter the game, but they're obviously catching up.
Sure. Wabarani Bayou. Handles out.
The remaining house guests in the house are watching this live on a TV to see who will be re-entering the game. It's funny because all 4 of these previously evicted house guests, not a single one of them has won a competition in their time in the house, so this will be their first competition win if they re-enter the game. Oh, Derek's pushing himself yet again. No one's showing any signs yet of coming off. Adelaide pushing herself. Adelaide pushing herself. Aubrey took a little trip there. And Derek is the first house guest off the competition. Derek, you have been eliminated from this battle back competition. Okay, so Derek's been eliminated from the battle back competition and just 3 remain, Adelaide, Aubrey and Cody, as we move on to round 2. Okay, so round 2 is simple. You will each paint a portrait. The house guest with the portrait costing the least amount of money will then be eliminated from the competition. The remaining 2 will move on to the final round of this battle back. This competition starts now.
Huh. Warba Taranga.
Okay, so they're all painting something now. It looks like Aubrey and Cody are painting the same portrait, whereas Adelaide's going for a slightly different approach. But whose will be worth the most amount of simoleons? We saw this competition previously as a head of household competition, where Jaren won that competition. Okay, so Aubrey's reached level 3 painting there. The Adelaide and Aubrey would have competed in this competition in week 2. Adelaide and Aubrey look like they're coming to the end of their portrait. Cody's reached level 2 in painting also. Cody coming to the end of his portrait. It'll be interesting to see any of these 3 really re-enter the game. Cody will have a bit more work to do than the other 2 girls, I think. Adelaide's obviously got strong relationships in the house. Aubrey also has a few relationships in the house that she'll probably need to maintain and work on again. Okay, so Adelaide is finished with her portrait. We'll just wait for the other 2 to come to the end now as well before we check how much they are worth. Okay, so Cody has finished his portrait also, just waiting on Aubrey. Aubrey has now finished her portrait, so remember the previously evicted house guest with the portrait worth the least amount of simoleons will be eliminated from the competition. So Aubrey, your portrait is 183. Cody, your portrait is 114. So Adelaide, Aubrey is moving on to the final part of the competition. Adelaide, you just need to beat 114. Adelaide's portrait is being sold for 214. Congratulations on Aubrey and Adelaide. You move on to the final part of the competition. Cody, you have been eliminated. Cody leaves the competition. Okay, so either Aubrey or Adelaide will be returning to the house as a fully fledged house guest. The last competition is simple. You will have 45 seconds to throw as many darts at the dartboard as possible. The house guest with the most points at the end of the 45 seconds will return to the game. This competition starts now. Okay, so Adelaide has got a couple of points on the board there. Aubrey's got 1. Adelaide's got another couple of points there. Aubrey is close behind her. Adelaide is in the lead with 6 points. Oh, Aubrey closing the gap with 5 points there. Aubrey has made it a tie. It's both 6 points. One of these will be re-entering the game. It's still neck and neck with 6 points. Who will take the lead here? Adelaide had the early start, but will Aubrey take over? Okay, not long left now, about 5 seconds. Aubrey has taken a lead. We have 2 seconds left. And we are at the end of the competition. Congratulations, Aubrey. You will be re-entering the game. Adelaide, you have been eliminated from the competition. Okay, so Adelaide has been eliminated from the competition. So Aubrey has re-entered the game. She's joined the remaining house guests down in the living room. The 3 previously evicted house guests are leaving the studios. Derek, Adelaide, and Cody. So Aubrey clearly has quite a lot of work to do in the game now. So that's all we got time for on this action-packed episode of Let's Play Big Brother 1 with Startup Simsy. Join us on Saturday at 8 AM British time, where we will crown a new head of household. Who will become the next head of household, and who will they nominate for potential eviction from the Big Brother house? That's all on Saturday. For now, let's eavesdrop on the house guests. Good night.